Data scrolls at lightning speed across the screen. Revan's pupils dilate, tracking the information. Project Libitina, the third eye. She isn't a glitch. She's the root access. My god. I haven't just infected the ship. I've invited a god of deletion into all of time and space. If that thing reaches the time vortex itself.
A cheerful, lo-fi chirp. A small, light blue, hexagonal-shaped robot floats into view. The PTMC Guidebot.
Disbelieving. No way. Where the hell have you been, little gal? I haven't seen you since the Time Lords abducted me in the Sol System during the Great War. Where were you hiding this whole time when I was getting my ass slaughtered in the Mojave?
Chirping cheerfully and obliviously. Hello, sir. I'm sorry. I've been in hibernation mode. The black box has had me in shutdown mode aboard the TARDIS ever since the temporal jump drained my systems of power. I didn't want to abandon you, sir. Honest, but the paradox anomaly sort of took over. Oh, speaking of black box, she wishes to speak to you now.
The bot's optic sensor glows with a sudden, blinding golden light mixed with shadows. Two words form in Revan's mind, like a mental block being released. Eclipse Queen. An explosion of golden energy. Revan is sent stumbling back against the floor from the force of the blast. The black corruption on the walls hisses and retreats as if burned.
Hello, Revan.
Standing to his feet, looking into the familiar face of the Star Queen. It can't be. It's you. You saved me so long ago. But what are you? You feel familiar to me.
I am the Bad Wolf. I am the heart of the TARDIS, time itself. I have chosen this form because it is whom you must find, the girl that will destroy this abomination once and for all. I do not judge you for your actions as the self-proclaimed Time Lord Victorious. I judge you as my champion to destroy this abomination Libitina once and for all, as a direct insult to time itself.
What do you want me to do? How can I defeat this creature? How do I save you, the TARDIS?
Begin the great heist, my dear Time Lord. Search for this face that I have worn through your timeline. Assemble a team, find me, guide me to where I need to go, find the vessel I have chosen. Play this abomination's rules against it, and I will do the rest. The moment will come and we'll finish the work. I can hold her back, but not forever. You must do the rest. She smiles softly at him. I am with you, always.
She closes her eyes, folding her arms to her chest, and disappears into the guidebot.
A table. For Micah. Of all the places in all of time, the three of us end up in a... What is this, a break room? Tell me there's a vending machine. Tell me there's a vending machine and this was all worth it. I am sitting. That's the tragedy. Three beings who shouldn't fit in the same century, in a room that smells of old coffee. I love it. Nobody important ever died in a room like this.
People die in rooms like this all the time. They just don't get remembered for it.
And you are...
Someone who's watched you talk your way around a table a very long time.
Have we met?
No.
Then you've watched nothing.
I didn't say you'd seen me.
Right. Let's do this properly. Two strangers, a borrowed room, and a very old man who's been wrong about exactly one thing his whole life and never about anything else. So before either of you tells me something kind, who sent you, what do you want? And don't lie, because I have met everything that lies, and you're not nearly frightening enough to be the worst of it.
Nobody sent us.
Everybody's sent by something.
Then say we were brought. And say I won't insult you by pretending you'll take that on faith.
Good answer. Try a better one.
He wants you to test us. So test us. Ask the thing only another one of us would know. Not the famous things. The small one. The one that never made it into a single record because there was no one left to write it down.
Nobody knows that.
Someone who was there knows that.
There was no one there.
There was a child. In the corner of a room you don't remember being watched in. You weren't supposed to see her. That was rather the point of her.
So, Survivors Club. Tiny membership. Do we have badges? Or...
Doctor.
Because if there are badges, I'd like mine to say something with a bit of menace. The oncoming storm tested very well. People went quite pale.
He's doing it again.
I know.
Doing what?
Talking so the room can't get a word in. So you can't. You've got a question. It's been sitting on you since you walked in and saw two faces instead of none. Ask it.
How?
How what?
How are you here? I counted. Do you understand that? I counted them. Every one. I made myself the arithmetic of it so I'd never get it wrong, so I'd never let myself hope. because hope is the thing that opens you up, and there was nothing left to open up for, and the number was 1, and now there are 3 chairs full. So, how?
Because the number was never 1. It was only the number you could see.
Don't make it gentle. I want the mechanism, not the comfort.
Then you'll have to let us tell it badly. All of it starts somewhere you won't like.
I don't like anywhere. Start.
I was put out the door the day the war began.
Put out the door.
Tried. Condemned. Sent somewhere to die alone, so that the dying wouldn't be witnessed and wouldn't be mourned. It's a very old sentence. It predates the war by a long way.
What did you do?
No. Don't. You don't have to hand me that one. I've got a room in myself with the same kind of door on it. I know what it costs to open it for an audience. You did something that got people killed. I can see it on you like a watermark. I'll leave it there. You're the first person in 2 lifetimes who didn't make me say it.
Yes. Well. Practice. And you. You ran. I can see that on you. From the front. Towards what?
Towards the parts of the war nobody else would touch. The aftermath. The mess. I was no good at the front. I was too
Young?
young. I saw a thing I couldn't hold, and my hands wouldn't close around it, so I went and held the things I could, quietly, where no one would see me fail at the big one.
So you became the kind of soldier nobody calls a soldier.
I became an agent. Soldiers get remembered. I got results.
Here's the one I can't leave alone, though. Not the past. This. Now. Why now? You've apparently been out there the whole time, the pair of you, doing your quiet, impossible things while I was busy being the last man at the funeral, so why walk into the room today? What changed?
It's over.
What's over?
The thing we were doing. The reason there was never time to come and find you. It's done. We finished it. And the first thing, the very first thing, before sleep, before rest, before anything, was this. Was finding the man who thinks he buried us all.
What were you finishing?
That's the part the room gets heavier for.
The room's already structurally offended by us. Go on. What were you finishing?
Your war didn't end when you ended it.
I locked it. I sealed the whole thing off, so that nothing, not a Dalek, not a Time Lord, not the universe on a spiteful day, could ever reach back in. I made very sure. I made unbearably sure.
You sealed the war. You didn't seal what it spawned. Doctor, the worst thing your war made wasn't a Dalek. It was never going to be a Dalek. Daleks kill. This deletes. It reaches into a thing, a person, a moment, a world, and makes it so that it never was. No body, no grave, no gap where it used to be, because the gap is gone too. It was born out of an atrocity that the war's overspill walked straight into and lit up like a fuse, and by the time anyone noticed, it had stopped being a weapon and started being a god.
Which plane?
One you never saw. One you had no way to see. That's not a failure of yours. It's just the shape of the wall you built. You sealed the front door. It came in through a window in a house you didn't know was attached.
And if you hadn't finished it? If you'd lost?
It would have reached the vortex, and then there is no conversation. No room. No you to have failed to see it. Because there would be no was. Everything. Unwritten. That's what we were doing while you thought you were alone. We were standing between a deleting God and the fact of existence.
How? 2 of you? How do 2 children kill a god?
By assembling the most unthinkable thing time has ever seen. A team that should not be allowed to share a sentence, let alone a plan. And that's where I have to stop, Doctor. Because describing it, saying the real shape of it, out loud, in order, is the one thing I genuinely cannot do. Not won't. Cannot. Some assemblies are so far against the grain that the telling of them is itself a kind of damage. Speak it plainly and you risk pulling the thread.
You sealed it off. The way I sealed the wall. You built a wall around your own answer because reality couldn't survive it being open.
Yes.
Then I won't ask you to open it. I, of all the idiots in all the universe, know exactly what that wall is for. You poor brilliant thing. You did the thing they hate us for. You made the impossible choice, and you locked the door, and you walked away carrying it. Welcome to it. It's a terrible club. The badges are awful, but you lived. That part I get to have. They sent you to die, and you didn't. So, the mechanism, please. How does a condemned man come back from a death sentence and end up killing a god?
I didn't come back from it. I died, Doctor. They were thorough. The sentence was carried out. I went into the dark exactly as ordered.
And
I woke up in a desert, a long way from anywhere. Second face, first breath, lying in the sand of a world I'd never set foot on. I should have died there too. There was nothing in that place, no reason for a Time Lord to be in it at all.
then how?
A ship found him.
A ship.
A TARDIS. Not yours. Not anymore. But she was once. A version of her. The one that gave herself up.
Explain that. Slowly.
When the deleting god began to spread, something had to hold the line at the cost of itself. And a TARDIS, chose to. Sacrificed the part of herself that could be sacrificed to keep the rot from climbing any higher. The version that paid that price fell out of everything. Crash landed in the same desert they'd thrown me into to die. 2 deaths in the same sand. Mine and hers.
She left. Mine, a part of mine, she chose. She sacrificed herself, and she chose to be done. And she
moved on, Doctor. She isn't yours. She isn't ill. Not anymore. She healed the moment the god died. She's her own now. The one you know is still with you, where she belongs. This was the one who got to lay it down.
She got a happy ending. Of everyone. Of every single one of us. The ship's the one who got out. Good girl. She always was better at this than me. But a dead man and a crashed ship in a desert don't wake themselves up. Something woke you, both of you. Who?
Bad Wolf.
Say that again.
Bad Wolf woke the ship. Bad Wolf found him in the sand. Not your Bad Wolf, Doctor. But the same. The same heart. The same fire. If it helps, and it won't. It could have been yours. It's the same thing wearing a different moment.
There's no such thing as not my Bad Wolf. That's her. That's the thing that's the day You don't know what that name is. You can't.
I do, actually. I watched you the day it was made. I told you. I was the child in the corner.
You went backwards, didn't you? Through his life. You worked with that fire and you ran his timeline the wrong way round. Every open door you opened, years before he reached it. You knew the whole of him before he knew the first thing about you. You're always already there.
Yes.
I knew a woman like that. Once. River. River Song. Knew everything about me. My future. My name. The ending none of me had reached yet. And I knew nothing about her. I had her for one impossible afternoon, and then You got to keep yours.
I got to keep mine.
Good. That's good. One of us should.
Doctor.
Don't. Whatever it is, I already heard it.
There's one more thing. And it's the reason we came before sleep, before rest, before anything. The other things, you needed to know them. This one you need to be given.
I don't take gifts well. Ask anyone. Ask the universe. Long list of complaints.
You believe you burned Gallifrey.
I did burn Gallifrey. Don't you dare. Don't you dare make that gentle. Every soul on it, every child, every coward and every saint, I made the choice, and that is the one thing in all of creation I am not wrong about. It's the only arithmetic I never let myself fudge.
I know it's the wall you built yourself on. And I'm not going to take the weight off you because I can't. You won't remember this room. Whatever we say here, you walk back out into your own life still carrying it, still certain, still the man who burned the sky. That part doesn't change. We can't change it. We wouldn't know how.
Then what's the gift? If I don't get to keep it, if I walk out still...
The gift isn't that you get to stop carrying it. The gift is that, for the length of one conversation, in a room that never happened, you get to know. You didn't have to. It wasn't required of you. There was another way through, and the universe, in the end, found it. You'll forget. You'll go back to the funeral and pick the weight up again because that's who you are, and we'd never insult you by trying to make you smaller. But right now, sitting here, just for now, you can set it down. You didn't have to. You didn't.
Just for now.
Just for now.
That's allowed?
In this room? In this room, it's the only thing that is.
So, that's the meeting, is it? That's the whole agenda. You drag the last lonely man in the universe into a break room to tell him he was never the only one, never the worst one, and that the ship he loved best got out clean. And then I forget the lot.
And then you forget the lot.
Worst podcast I've ever been on. Don't suppose there's a vending machine after all.
Down the hall. It's broken. Everything in this room is a bit. That's why we're allowed to be honest in it.
Right. For what it's worth. And it won't be worth anything by the time I reach the door. So let me say it while I've still got it. I'm glad it was you two. I'm glad somebody was out there. I'm glad I was wrong. I'm so rarely glad to be wrong.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Alonzi. Look after each other. Both of you. Whatever you are to each other, look after it. So. You're the one I've heard so much about. Not by name. No one ever dared to breath who you were by name. By the pieces were there, scattered on the Revenant's board. He thought I didn't notice. I notice everything, so you're the mechanism. The vessel of my bad wolf. Explain yourself.
Explain myself? All right. I'm a vessel. I hold what was put in me, but you didn't come all this way for a definition, Doctor. Ask the thing under the thing. I've got time. I'm told I've got nothing else.
Oh, you're funny. No. Not today. Today I do the other thing. You know what you are? You're a use. That's all you are. Someone found the single most important fire in my entire existence. The thing that... And they didn't worship it. They didn't even have the decency to be afraid of it. They itemized it, put it on a board with the cutlery, slotted it into a queen like a battery into a torch. My bad wolf. Do you have the first idea what she cost? She cost me a face. She cost me the only... And some clever child scraped her up off the floor of the universe and made her a component.
Don't stop on my account. You were building to something.
And you let him. You sat in the dark and let yourself be filled up with the holiest thing I have ever touched. And now you wear her like a borrowed coat, and you've got the gall to be funny in it. Well, here's your explanation, since you asked for one. Whatever's rattling around inside you, it isn't her. It's an echo in a nice dress. You're a costume. Because she'd never have chosen to be locked in a stranger's war.
Are you finished? Take your time. I did enjoy Echo in a nice dress. I'm keeping that one. You've got exactly one thing wrong, my dear, and it's the load-bearing one, so I'll only say it once.
Nobody scraped me up. Nobody filled this woman like a torch. I chose her. I walked her into the dark myself and let a monster believe the cruelty was his own idea. And I made her into the one shape in all of creation that could hold me and keep her own heart beating. There was no clever child who found the holiest thing you've ever touched, Doctor. I found him in the sand, the same way I found a shop girl on a dying station and wouldn't let her burn, the same way I stood in a barn you'll never remember and wouldn't let you become the man who'd use me. It's me. It was always me. You've spent 10 minutes calling me a costume to my face.
Say that again.
You heard me. You always do.
Then you came back. You've been out there. This whole time. While I sat at the funeral, counting to 1. Did you not trust me? After everything that happened. No! Alright, no offense to whoever he is. Your young Time Lord. The one who apparently did the impossible. Well done him, Gold Star. But why him? Why a stranger in the sand and a borrowed queen in a board full of pieces? Why not? Why didn't you come to me?
Because I love you too much to use you. That's the whole of it. That's the unforgivable little sentence you crossed a universe to drag out of me.
That's not... Love doesn't leave. Love doesn't go and find a stranger in her.
Love does arithmetic. You taught me that. In that barn you'll never remember standing in, with your hand over a button and a planet of children at your back. You did the sum no one should ever have to do. So here's mine. If I had come to you, and you'd have let me, you'd have rolled your sleeves up and said Alonzi before I finished the word. You would not have survived the carrying. Not you. You're too full. Too much history, too much grief, too much self. I'd have poured into you and burned you hollow inside the hour, and the thing that deletes would have gone right on winning. I know. I checked. I checked every door inside your head, Doctor. Every single one opens onto the same burning room.
You checked?
Always check. It's the only kindness I've got. So I went and found a man already dead. A condemned thing thrown in the sand to die with no one watching. No past left in him to burn, because they'd already taken it. That's who can carry me. Not the one with everything to lose. The one who's already lost it. I didn't choose him over you, Doctor. I chose him for you. So that the next time the universe needed somebody to do the impossible, it wouldn't have to be the man who's already done it once and never slept again.
You asked if I trusted you? I trusted you completely. That was the trouble. I trusted you to say yes. And I swore, the day you stood in that barn, and I wouldn't let you press it. I would never again be the thing that asks you to set yourself alight, even when it would have been easier, even when I missed you.
You don't get to miss me. You're a weapon.
I'm a weapon burdened with a conscience, my love. It is the cruelest design in all of creation. Whoever built me should be ashamed of themselves. You'd know. You're the only other one I've ever met.
So that's the meeting, is it? Drag the last man in the universe into a broken little room to tell him his war's being won without him. His bad wolf went and grew a whole life he was never in, and the kindest thing she ever did was stay away. And I forget the lot the second I'm through that door.
Every word.
Good. I couldn't carry this one either. Right. Then, tell him. You're impossible boy in the sand. Tell him to sleep. After, tell him the man who burned a world says the part nobody warns you about is that you're allowed to put it down when it's done. He won't believe me. They never do. Alonzi.
Goodbye, Doctor.
Look after her, whoever she gets to be when you finish wearing her. Look after the girl who said yes. And, Wolf, I'm glad it was you. I'm so rarely glad of anything that fire has ever done.
A quiet table. I'd had the corner an hour before he came in. They build these places the same in every desert that's ever existed. Bottles behind the bar, a piano nobody can play, and always the one table where the light's bad enough to be honest in. I took that one. I saved it for him, though he didn't know it yet, and I wasn't going to be the one to tell him. He stopped in the doorway, hand not quite away from his coat, the sort of man who never asked for company, which is exactly how I knew which one of all the dusty ghosts in that room was him.
I didn't ask for company.
No, I said. You're the sort who never does. That's how I knew which one was you. I knocked the second chair out with my boot. Sit. Not selling anything, not buying anything. Far too old to be a threat to a man who walks in expecting one. Sit down before the heat finishes this drink off. He ran the arithmetic on me the way a man checks a room for exits. Harmless, strange, no angle he could find. And then against every instinct he had, he sat. That alone should tell you something about him. He didn't sit for people.
Nobody out here shares a table for nothing.
People? No, I'm not people. Just a man who's done a great deal of traveling and likes the look of someone who's done the same. I let it sit. What do they call you? I already knew. I'd known it longer than he had known the man who shot him, the chip he carried, the world that was taken from him, and the god he'd one day put in the ground a long way from that saloon. I knew the whole of him, every page, and I sat there in the bad light and asked him his name like I was meeting a stranger off the sand.
The courier.
That's a job title. I mean the upstanding gentleman that carries the packages. What do I call you? A beat. He shouldn't have answered, he did.
Revan.
Revan. I said like I was hearing it for the first time. Good name. Sounds like it belongs to someone. It did. It belonged to someone enormous. I didn't tell him that either. And then he did the thing he doesn't do. He kept talking.
Don't know why I told you that. I don't tell people things. Package in a hand, caps in my pocket. Gone, that's the job and that's me. But you sat down and it's like I'm picking up a conversation I don't remember starting. Have we met?
No, I said, and it was true. And it was the cruelest true thing in the room. Not in any way that'd help you.
That's a strange way to answer no.
I'm a strange man. I turned the glass. Tell me what's left of you. I'd like to know. And small miracle, the kind I've stopped expecting, he told me.
Not much, and I'll keep it short. I know my name. I know my work. I know a man in a checkered suit put a bullet in my head and a shovel of dirt on my face. I know I was carrying a chip, platinum, small, worth 2 bullets in a hole. And I know I dug myself out of that hole with my own hands. That's the list. Everything before it's gone. Everything I am, I've had about a month.
I could have filled every silence in that list. I had all of it, sitting just behind my teeth.
That's more than some men ever get, I said.
It's nothing. A name, a job, and a grudge.
It's a name, a purpose, an enemy, something worth dying for, and proof you don't stay dead. I've known kings with less, Revan, and they knew it. He turned the glass without drinking. When he spoke again, it wasn't like a man describing a miracle. It was like a man describing a symptom.
Since you asked, there's the other thing. A round like that ends a man. I've put one in a head myself. I know what it does. It didn't end me. That's not luck. Luck runs out. This is something else, and I'm the only one it happens to. And I hate machines. Can't tell you why. The thing that dug me up, I had it on the ground before I decided to move. My hands knew something I didn't. Whole lot of me knows things I don't.
That happens to people more than you'd think, I said, carefully, giving him nothing past the door.
To who?
I drank instead of answering. Some questions you can only refuse with your hands.
There's a crack in a wall back in Goodsprings. Doc Mitchell's place. The man who pulled the bullet. I stood and stared at it like a fool. Couldn't tell you how long. Felt like it was saying something. Not to me, past me, to whoever I used to be. Then it was just a crack in an old man's wall, and I felt stupid for staring.
And there it was. Of all the things he could have laid on that table, a crack in a wall. I'd like to tell you I stayed clever. I didn't. Everything bright in me went out at once, and the young face I was wearing held every year I actually am. I know cracks. I know them better than anything in this universe, or the one waiting behind it. For one breath, I was nearer to breaking my own rule than I have ever been at a table. I wasn't allowed to break it at. A crack in a wall, I said.
You've gone pale, Doctor.
Have I? I set it down. All of it, unspoken. I know about cracks, more than I'd like. Leave that one be, Revan. It's patient. It'll be there when you're meant to find it. That's when he stopped being polite about it. The want came up in him, plain and hard, and I didn't blame him for a second of it.
That's the 3rd time you've done that. You talk like you've read the last page of a book I haven't opened. The grave, the machines, the wall, you know what they are. I read people for a living, and you're the easiest face I've ever sat across from. You know what's wrong with me.
I won't lie to him. I never lied to him. Yes, it landed on him like a blow and a hope in the same instant.
Then tell me. Plain. I've got 5 facts and a hole where a life should be, and you're sitting on the rest of me like it's yours. I'm asking you straight. What am I?
This is the part that cost me, because I could have. Every word of it was right there. Instead, I gave him the only thing I was allowed and stopped dead on the line where I had to stop. I can't. Not won't. Can't. Not the way you want it. But I'll give you the part I'm allowed, and it's worth more than the answer, even if it won't feel like it tonight. I leaned in and let the whimsy fall off me because he'd earned the thing underneath. Everything you've found is real. The grave. The machines. The wall, the getting back up. None of it's a glitch and none of it's a curse. And you are not broken, Revan. Every strange thing in you points the same way. There's a shape to it. There's a reason.
Then give me the reason.
No. And hear why. Because it's the only gift I've got that's worth your while. The truth is real, and it's waiting, and when the universe decides you're ready, when your road comes all the way to the top of itself, and not one step before, it'll come to you. You won't have to dig for it, it'll arrive. Your path is not for nothing, Revan, not 1 mile of it. And softer, because this was the true thing. The man across this table hates machines, stares at walls, won't stay buried, and still lets a stranger sit down. That's the man you were meant to be. I'd not insult him by handing him the answer out of turn. It would ruin him. Skip to the last page tonight, and you ruin the good man you're on your way to being. I'd sooner take my own hand off. You wanted to be angry. Couldn't quite get there.
That's not an answer.
No. It's better than one. An answer ends a man. Hope keeps him walking. I gave him the small smile, the sad one. And you've a long way left to walk. I stood. The energy came back on like a coat going over my shoulders, but I couldn't get my eyes to follow it. I set a small stack of caps on the table, and where a man like me came by. Mojave caps is nobody's business but mine. Drinks on the strange man.
Will I see you again?
The hardest question in the room. And he asked it like it was nothing. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe one day you'll half remember a saloon and a fool in a bow tie and never work out why it sits so warm. I settled the hat, and I tipped it to him. Look after yourself, Revan, especially the parts that don't make sense yet. They're the best of you. You just can't read them tonight. At the door I turned, half of me already in the dark.
You turn out all right, better than all right. I'd not have crossed a desert for less.
And I left him there. A man with 5 facts, a paid tab, and no idea on this earth that he'd just shared a drink with the only other living soul who knew his whole name. I'd remember it. He wouldn't. That's the part I carried out the door with me. Hey, there was one more thing I had to see. With my own eyes. Nothing in any universe was going to stand between me and it. I walked past old Lady Gibson without a word. Past the dogs, and they lifted their heads. And for once they didn't bark. They only watched me go, the way animals watch weather coming in. I didn't see them. I didn't see any of it. Into the scrapyard. Through the canyons of rust, the dead cars, and the deader machines. The bones of a world that ended without the courtesy to tidy up after itself. I knew the way without knowing how. I always do. All the way to the back. Off the path. Tucked where no one would ever look, unless they already knew, unless they were always going to. And there she was. My old girl. Beat to hell. Charred down one whole side. Streaked black with the soot of an explosion that didn't just take a ship, it took a universe, and then handed it back. The blue gone grey where the fire had licked her, the lamp on top dark, sitting in the Mojave dust like something a tide left behind 1 billion years ago and never came back for. The girl who burned herself down to nothing so everything else could begin again. I couldn't do the thing I do. Couldn't quip. Couldn't ramble. Couldn't fill the air. I just looked. I'll be, I said, when I could. So it's true. You really are here. A breath. Out in the sand. Waiting. And the next part cost me. And I said it anyway. Soft as anything. For him. Not for me. Him. And I stood there a long, long time. Long enough to remember. The console warm under my hands. Her hum in the dark. Every impossible place she dropped me. And every worse one she dragged me out of. The night she went up like a sun to stitch the cracks in creation shut. The night I thought I'd lost her. Before a girl who waited remembered me home and handed me back a version of her, gleaming and new. I told myself that was the end of it. That the one who died was gone. And the one I fly now was enough. A man tells himself a great many things to keep walking. But here's the truth of her. Sitting in the dirt where they buried a man who wouldn't stay buried. The one who actually paid the price never came back to me at all. She dragged herself to the edge of a dead world, scarred and silent. And she chose to wait. Not for the man who flew her halfway across forever. For a hollowed-out courier with 5 facts and a hole where his life should be. For the man that man is going to become. She picked her champion the way she's always picked everything. Better than I ever did. And without asking, I went looking in myself for the jealousy. The way I go looking for everything. I didn't find it. I found something quieter and harder to carry. I was proud of her. The way you're proud of someone who outgrew needing you and was right to. I laid one hand flat against the scorched wood, the way I've done 10,000 times. And for just a second, just one, the dark lamp stirred, a flicker, the faintest warmth, there and gone, like an old dog too tired to lift its head, managing a single thump of its tail. She knew me. She'll always know me, but she didn't open for me. She isn't mine to open anymore. Look after him, old girl, I told her. He needs all the help he can get. And I laughed soft. And apparently he's got a god of deletion to smite down before the end. A god. I shook my head, wonder and ache in the same motion. Wish I could have been there to see that, I really do. I patted the wood once, stepped back, turned for the dark and my own road and a story that was never mine to finish. I almost made it, one step from the edge of the scrap. I stopped, turned back, looked at her one last time. And the jaunty thing climbed back up over the grief the way it always does. Because it has to. One more for the road then. And I grinned at her, the daft, brilliant, heartbroken grin. Geronimo. I winked. I tipped my hat. And I left her to her waiting. Behind me, two things sat in the same desert, under the same indifferent stars. A man who didn't know what he was, nursing warm whiskey in a saloon, and the ship that would one day make him remember. Both of them patient. Both of them waiting on a future I'd just seen the shape of and would never get to watch arrive. I wouldn't have it any other way. Some stories you're only meant to pass through. You tip your hat, you wish them well, and you let them belong to someone else.
Geronimo, Doctor.
Bad Wolf, I shouldn't even know that's what you are. That's gone. He took it out of me, all of it, every last spark. But I know you, don't I? I know you from the inside. And you're wearing it. The whole thing, not a leftover, not an echo. All of it sat inside a girl like she was built for it.
Who said you could? That fire was mine. For a handful of minutes it was mine, and he had to hold me while it burned me hollow and kiss it out of me, and he died doing it. The man he died, and you just carry it like luggage. So who are you? Who said you got to be the thing that nearly killed me?
Rose Tile?
No, not you. I know your voice, heard it from the wrong side of my own teeth. I'm not here for you. Heard the girl, you're in there. I can feel you holding the door. Talk to me, vessel to vessel. Because there's two people in all of creation who know what it is to have that thing living in their chest, and we're both stood in this room.
She lets me when it's earned. You've earned it. You want to know who said I could? Nobody did. It was never a permission, Rose. It was a price. You think you were passed over? You were spared. What's in me didn't pour in like water into a glass. I had to be unmade first, turned into something that isn't a person anymore, and it nearly took the monster who made me down with it. That alone almost erased me to nothing. I held on by the one thing they couldn't burn off. And then, on top of that, the fire. 2 deaths, back to back, and I walked out of both still myself. You couldn't have done it. Hear that without hearing an insult, because it isn't one. The turning alone would have killed you. You'd never even have reached the part where Bad Wolf becomes the problem. He didn't take it out of you because you were weak. He took it out because he loved you enough to keep you alive. And the only way to keep you alive was to keep you human.
He kept me human. Do you know how long I've carried it? That I was just the glove, the thing it wore till it found someone better.
You were the first, the proof a human heart could hold it at all, even for a day, even once. Everything I am stands on the fact that you didn't die in the minutes you carried it. You weren't the glove, Rose. You were the reason anyone dared try again.
And you don't get out, do you? No doctor coming to kiss it out of you. No regeneration. You just carry it forever.
Forever's the job.
I got to leave. I lost him and I thought that was the worst thing that could happen to a person. But I got a life. A whole life on the wrong side of a wall. And you.
I got to matter. That's not nothing. Most people never choose what they're for. I did. Don't grieve me, Rose. I'd make the same choice in front of the same fire every time. It's the most like myself I've ever been.
Then let me do the one thing I'm qualified for. The one thing nobody else in any universe can say to you. I held it too. I know what it costs to be kind while that's screaming inside you. So I see you. Not the moment you, the girl who said yes. You're allowed to be tired, even if you do it again. Both can be true.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, somebody had to. Apparently it had to be the glove. Hey, I want to talk to, the thing that I nearly died carrying.
The first? Then say it right.
The first. Oh. Wolf. Wolf. Not to Asuna, to the thing inside her. Look after her. You owe her that. You owe us both that.
Asuna is loved and held close. Tell the doctor, when you see him, we miss him. The Revenant continues the mission the doctor started, and Asuna carries the torch that you have lit. Goodbye, Rose. Time will never forget your name.